The relationship between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs brought together two highly visible figures from very different arenas of fame. Cardi B, born Belcalis Marlenis Almanzar, built her career through music, social media presence, and business ventures, evolving from a breakout reality television personality into a Grammy-winning artist with global influence. Stefon Diggs established himself as one of the NFL's most recognized wide receivers, known for precision on the field and a distinct public persona beyond it. When their relationship became public in May 2025 during a New York Knicks game appearance, it represented more than a casual pairing. It signaled the convergence of hip-hop celebrity culture and professional football at a moment when both were navigating personal transitions. Cardi had recently finalized her separation from Offset, marking the end of a marriage that had unfolded largely in public view. Interviews at the time reflected her intention to reset her personal life and focus on stability. Diggs entered that period as a new presence, described in coverage as calm, disciplined, and focused on his career with the New England Patriots. Their early appearances together were framed as deliberate rather than impulsive. Observers noted the absence of dramatic declarations, replaced instead by coordinated public outings and low-profile travel. By late 2025, the relationship reached a milestone with the birth of their son on November 4. Reports from Hypebeast and Wrap Up documented Cardi's own words about the moment, calling the child "one more reason to be the best version of me." In a September interview referenced by Wrap Up, she described feeling safe and very confident in her relationship at the time. The tone surrounding their family life was grounded in optimism. Coverage emphasized growth rather than spectacle. During the same period, Diggs was focused on the NFL season as the Patriots advanced towards Super Bowl LX. His performance on the field remained central to his public identity. Unlike many celebrity couples who build narratives through interviews or joint ventures, Cardi and Diggs allowed their story to unfold primarily through appearances and indirect statements. There were no co-branded projects, no reality show arcs, and no formal announcements beyond confirmation of their child's birth. This approach gave the impression of a relationship insulated from overt media strategy. Their connection also reflected the scale of modern celebrity networks. Cardi's presence at major sporting events and Diggs' participation in cultural and fashion circles illustrated how the boundaries between entertainment and athletics have narrowed. Each had independent influence across industries. Together, they amplified that visibility without overtly commercializing it. As 2026 approached, attention shifted to the Patriots' playoff run and the growing media spotlight on Diggs. Cardi appeared publicly in connection with team events and was confirmed by CBS News as a halftime performer at Super Bowl LX alongside Bad Bunny and Karol G. Her involvement placed her in the stadium not only as Diggs' partner, but as an artist with her own role in the event's global broadcast. At this stage, public perception of their relationship remained stable. The focus rested on professional momentum and family expansion. Coverage centered on their son's arrival, Diggs' postseason performance, and Cardi's continued touring plans. There were no confirmed disputes, legal filings, or statements suggesting strain. The power structure of the relationship was defined by parallel careers rather than dependency. Cardi maintained control over her music, branding, and touring schedule. Diggs operated within the disciplined framework of the NFL season. Each had independent financial security and established teams. This balance shaped how observers interpreted their union as two self-sufficient figures choosing partnership rather than relying on it. The narrative that developed during this period emphasized renewal. Cardi had publicly described wanting peace and focus after her divorce. Diggs was pursuing championship ambitions. The birth of their son became a symbolic marker of that shared chapter. Media coverage largely reflected this framing, focusing on growth, healing, and ambition. There was little indication at that time that the relationship would become the center of controversy. The dynamic appeared measured and deliberate. Public appearances were visible but not excessive. Statements about family life were limited and controlled. The broader environment surrounding them remained positive. By the time Super Bowl LX arrived in February 2026, their story had been constructed around stability and forward movement. Cardi's halftime participation and Diggs' presence on the field placed them at the center of one of the most watched events of the year. The stage was set not for scandal but for visibility. In the aftermath of the Super Bowl and the subsequent online turmoil, the situation surrounding Cardi B and Stefon Diggs has settled into a quieter, more measured phase. What remains is a clear distinction between confirmed events and digitally manufactured narratives. It is established that the relationship ended following the Patriots' Super Bowl LX appearance. It is equally established that the most inflammatory claims circulating online, particularly those alleging regret over their child or hostile exchanges between the two, were not authentic. The episode highlights the increasing difficulty public figures face in controlling their narratives once speculation gains momentum online. In this case, a confirmed breakup was rapidly reframed into a far more dramatic storyline through AI-generated video and fabricated screenshots. Even after fact-checking outlets identified the material as manipulated, the initial impressions persisted across social media platforms. The speed of distribution outpaced the corrective reporting. For Cardi B, the broader implications extend beyond a personal separation. Her public image has long been tied to transparency and emotional candor. That reputation made the deepfake particularly persuasive to some viewers, as the fabricated tone mirrored her established communication style. The incident demonstrates how familiarity with a celebrity's persona can be exploited to lend credibility to false content. It also underscores the reputational risk associated with viral misinformation during moments of personal transition. For Stefon Diggs, the timing of the rumors compounded the scrutiny already attached to a Super Bowl loss. Professional athletes are routinely evaluated in high-pressure environments, and personal developments often become intertwined with performance narratives. In this case, however, there is no verified evidence linking the breakup to misconduct, public confrontation, or custody disputes. The available reporting confirms separation but does not substantiate the harsher accusations that briefly dominated the conversation. The co-parenting dimension remains central. Documented statements from Cardi at the time of their son's birth reflected pride and optimism. Those statements have not been retracted. No credible outlet has reported legal filings indicating conflict over custody or parental responsibilities. As a result, the long-term dynamic between Cardi and Diggs appears to be shifting toward private navigation rather than public escalation. The broader cultural impact of this episode lies in the role of artificial intelligence in shaping celebrity narratives. The deepfake video and fabricated exchanges were sophisticated enough to generate widespread belief before verification efforts intervened. This case joins a growing number of instances in which AI-generated material has altered public perception, at least temporarily. It raises questions about how audiences, platforms, and media outlets will adapt to an environment where visual and audio evidence can no longer be assumed authentic without scrutiny. Another unresolved question concerns accountability for the creation and dissemination of such content. While fact-checking organizations identified the material as fabricated, the origin of the deepfake remains unclear in public reporting. The absence of transparent attribution leaves a structural vulnerability within the media ecosystem. High-profile individuals remain exposed to reputational harm with limited immediate recourse. At a personal level, both Cardi and Diggs now move forward separately in their respective careers. Cardi continues to focus on touring and expanding her professional ventures. Diggs prepares for the next phase of his NFL career following the Super Bowl season. Their public silence on the most extreme rumors suggests a strategic decision to avoid amplifying disinformation. What began as a relationship framed as a fresh chapter ultimately concluded without the dramatic fallout many expected. The most sensational elements of the narrative were digitally constructed. The confirmed reality is simpler. Two high-profile individuals ended a relationship while sharing a child and facing intense public attention. The lasting significance of this episode lies less in the breakup itself and more in the mechanism through which the story evolved. It illustrates how quickly a factual development can be overshadowed by fabricated content, and how corrections, even when documented, struggle to match the velocity of initial claims. As artificial intelligence tools become more accessible, similar incidents are likely to increase, placing greater responsibility on audiences and media institutions to distinguish verification from virality. In the end, the relationship between Cardi B and Stefon Diggs has transitioned from public romance to private co-parenting. The digital storm that followed has subsided, but it leaves behind a clear example of how modern celebrity narratives are shaped not only by personal decisions, but also by the technologies that reinterpret them in real time.